Joey Serfass parlayed meticulous preparation, pinpoint control, a devastating slider, and vicious competitiveness into a Hall of Fame pitching career unmatched by any Eastern pitcher in the last 40 years. Despite standing 6'3" and weighing 205 pounds, Joey did not overpower hitters. He outcrafted them. In 53 career appearances, the two-time ABCA All-America won 34 games and lost only 4 with a 1.64 ERA and 7 saves, 219 strikeouts, and only 34 walks in over 300 innings. As good as he was in the regular season, winning 23 of 24 decisions, Joey was even better when the stakes got higher. In conference and NCAA tournament competition, the righty was 11-3 with a 1.20 ERA and completed 7 of his 11 starts. With Joey, Eastern won 3 conference and an unprecedented 3 straight regional championships. And with their sophomore hurling a complete game, 7-hit shutout, the Warriors claimed the 2002 national championship.
Joe Serfass is not about numbers. Joe Serfass is about human being, about doing the right thing, about being a great team leader, about being a great person, great family man, great team man. It wasn't about individual. In order to win a national championship, it's got to be about a team. And Joe and the group of guys that Joe was around certainly was a great team. Everybody together, everyone achieves more. And with Joe and the group of guys that he was surrounded by, made that team special. And the 2000 team was certainly special. But all 4 years that Joe played, he made those teams better. It was a privilege to have him in our program. The way he cared about himself, the teammates, it was special moments for our program. And so I consider it a privilege to have worked with Joe Serfass and that team at that time. And Joe is like a son of mine, was part of our family, and our family was our baseball team. And that era that Joe was involved in, and the group of guys we had there, certainly made coaching special and fun. To have a young man that was so driven on and off the field was special. And it made our program special, and it made that time special. So I was privileged to have those guys, and I certainly appreciate the moments that those guys were with me. It was awesome. So Joe, there couldn't be a better guy going into the Hall of Fame. I'm happy you're going into the Hall of Fame. You deserve to go into the Hall of Fame, and I'll be with you all the time. Take care, buddy.
As a freshman, when Joe got here, he had the mentality to do whatever was needed to be done, especially on the mound. He knew the game, he knew his capabilities, he was prepared when he got on the mound, he could execute whatever he had to do. He's probably one of the most prepared individuals mentally that we ever had come into the program.
Joe's leadership style was quiet but firm, I would say. He combined being the most talented pitcher on the team with also being the hardest working, which I think is a pretty unique combination. He never got in somebody's face, but you would look at him and know that he was going a little bit harder to try to make the guys behind him go harder. And it was easy to follow him in that way, where this guy who was accomplishing all the things that he was accomplishing was also the first guy to practice and the last guy to leave.
He was just a mature individual. How he handled himself off the field directly correlated to how he handled himself on the playing field. Whatever the situation, he was always in control. Nothing ever surprised him, or if it did, he never let on. He was always even keel.
It's easy to respect somebody who is passionate about what they're doing, who is doing it as hard as they can and not boasting about it. And I think it's easy to look at Joe and say, this is somebody that could have been boasting about the things that he was doing and the streaks that he had and the ERA titles and the All-Americans and all of those things, but he never did.
To get a kid to come in as a freshman, have 3 pitches that he could control for strikes and throw in any situation, to any location, to any type of hitter, was something very special and very rare at that time.
He does everything to the best of his ability and doesn't leave it out. So as a pitcher, his persona was, I have a goal of being the best at this that I can be. I have a goal that we're going to win the national championship every year that we can. And everything that he did was meant to accomplish those things. And I think he mirrors that in his personal life, or I should say he mirrored that on the mound.
In my opinion, Joe Serfass would be one of the best pitchers ever in this program. Joe was clearly the most prepared, the most competitive, and the most ready pitcher at all times.
Now, we often talk about pitching, that there's 3 ways to be really good: movement, velocity, and location. He excelled at 2 of those, movement and location. He could make a ball move the way he wanted to, when he wanted to, and he could put the ball where he wanted to, when he wanted to. And I think those 2 things, I mean, he didn't overpower people with velocity. I think he probably threw in the 85 to 87 range. But to get to AA with that velocity nowadays is pretty rare, and I think it's a testament to how great he was at the other 2 aspects of pitching.
When we were heading into the championship game in 2002, I don't believe there was any doubt at all who was going to get the ball that game. We were leaving the field after the game the day before, and no matter who we were going to play, I remember Coach Holowati saying, Serfass has the ball.
Yeah, so the very first game that Joe pitched when he was a freshman, he and I actually went out to dinner the night before, just kind of an impromptu go out to dinner. He ordered surf and turf, and I got a cheeseburger, and he went on to win the game the next day. And of course, baseball players being superstitious, we started doing that before every time he pitched. And in his career, I believe he lost 4 games, 2 of them on relief, 2 of them as a starter. The only 2 that he lost as a starter in his entire career, we had not eaten dinner the night before.
At this time, it's my privilege to present Joe Serfass into the ECSU Hall of Fame, and a special young man. Thanks, Joe.